Good afternoon, everybody. How are you on this lovely Friday? Thunderstorms, apparently. Well, we've missed them by the looks of it. So that's absolutely amazing. Let me see who we've got so far. We've got Charlotte Annabelle and Mrs. Lowry with Mrs. Charlton. Good afternoon to Jake. Good afternoon, Mrs. Slinger. Got Harley and Ashton. Good afternoon, boys. I hope you're really well. Good afternoon, Sarah and Ella and Eliza. Good afternoon, Mrs. Jones. Louise, good to see you again, third time, although virtually. Jacob, Adam, Emily, Ollie, and Bex, thank you for joining. Good afternoon, Mr. Hall. Good afternoon, Logan. Good afternoon, Joshua. Good afternoon, Mr. Rowland. Good afternoon, Miss Miller. And, of course, to Sophie, Emily, and Matthew. Right, we've got this new trend where we start our assemblies while we wait for others to join. Drop in the comment section, what have you been up to this week, especially if you've not been at school. Let me know what you've been doing. Have you been collecting any snails? You might have been. Have you been enjoying the sunshine but been really, really safe and sensible? Speaking of the snails, good afternoon, Seb. Hello to Diana, Olivia, Oracle, and Mum. Oracle, what a week and a bit you've had on Twitter. Your videos and stuff are absolutely amazing. I love all the stuff. I love the Twitter account that your mum and dad have made for you. Absolutely superb stuff. And thank you for doing that wonderful learning all week again. Absolutely awesome to see. Evie Grace, good afternoon. In the paddling pool, we've just been in the Story Garden having milkshakes to say goodbye to Mrs. Spenceley just for a while because she's gone off on maternity. And it's so warm out there, really close. A paddling pool is absolutely what's needed. Perhaps we could look at doing something like that in the future. I'll have to see and have some conversations maybe. Jake enjoyed doing his pirate maps. Certainly did. He certainly enjoyed doing his pirate hat, which I saw earlier in the week. That was amazing. And then he turned it into a piece of art as well. It wasn't a hat anymore. Brilliant. Mr. Slinger's up for the paddling pool idea. I think that's what that yes is for. I'm not surprised there. I would imagine all of the staff are. Where would we put it though? Do we replace one of the trampolines? Do we buy another patch of land? Not sure if we've got enough money to do something like that, but hey, you never know. You never ever know. Okay, I'm going to get started and we'll go through the stars of the week from nursery to year 6 as always. Nursery, your certificates will be sent to you via Marvellous Me, and from reception to year 6, your certificates will be with you very shortly on Seesaw. We've got good old Tim here. Let's see if his drum roll is ready. No, see, it's always a good idea to check. Let's see if it's ready now. Yes, it is. Not very loud though. Should we turn up a bit, Tim? Let's try now. That's much better. Fun. Dabby dozy. Okay, so we're going to start at, you know what? I'm going to start at year 6. Yeah, I'm going to go from the top of school to the bottom. I know, crazy today, eh? So let's start with year 6 and our oldest children, Mr. Watson's class. And we have a young lady who has had, I love this, a smile and a giggle every single day of her learning. What an amazing reason to be Star of the Week, for having a smile and a giggle for every day of her learning. Mr. Watson and Tim think that... Oh, no! There we go. Samaya Gull is Star of the Week. Well done, Samaya. What an absolutely amazing reason for being Star of the Week, having a smile and a giggle. What an absolutely lovely reason. And I completely concur. Every time I come to see you and watch you when you're learning, talk to you about learning or anything else, you do indeed always have a smile. Your brother Kasim always used to have a smile. And of course, Hannah always has a smile as well. So definitely something that runs in your family. Well done, Samaya. Your certificate will be coming your way on Seesaw soon. Right, to year 5, 6 and Mr. Hall's class. Another young lady, this time for having a positive attitude towards her work and a brilliant start back to school, to life at school. Mr. Hall and Tim think that Ebony Biswas is the Star of the Week. Well done, Ebony. Fantastic to see you having a positive attitude towards work and a brilliant start back to school life. Well done, you. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you and all your peers in less than 10 days' time. I'm going to talk about that in a bit anyway. So well done to Samaya and Ebony. To finish off phase 3, we have Mrs. Frost, year 5 class. We have another young lady, and this time for skip too far. For an excellent piece of writing. It's as simple and as beautiful and as brilliant as that. I'm not going to do my normal speech about writing. You all know how I feel about writing in the current circumstances. For excellent piece of writing, Mrs. Frost and Tim think that... Oh, it's done it again. It's because I keep touching that sheet. I know now. Garda is the star of the week in that class. Well done, Garda. Amazing to see that your writing is amazing, because as I keep saying, that's a really difficult and tricky thing to do at the moment, especially with so few children in classes together. So well done, phase 3 superstar Samaya, Ebony and Garda. Right, moving into phase 2 and Miss Tumulty's year 4 class. So this time we have a young man, and it says that he is star of the week for his fantastic effort and engagement in home learning this week. So Miss Tumulty and Tim think that the star of the week in year 4 is Corey Bruce. Well done, Corey. You superstar star of the week. As with the young ladies in phase 3, your certificate will be with you really soon on Seesaw. Well done, Corey, you superstar. Moving on to Mrs. Slinger's year 3-4 class. And we've got someone who has just had another plain, beautiful and simple reason for having an amazing week of learning. Toldo Cook. Well done, Toldo. I'm so pleased to see your name up there. What a superstar. Your attitude has been amazing since returning to school, and I am so happy to see you on that list. An amazing week at school. Well done, Toldo. So that means we have Samaya, Ebony, Garda, Corey and Toldo so far. Moving on to the last of the Key Stage 2 ones from top to bottom in ages is year 3 and Mrs. Brown's class. And for his remarkable enthusiasm towards his home learning and making his teachers smile every day, which is not easy, let me tell you, the star of the week in Mrs. Brown's class is Jay Smith. Well done, Jay. You are another one who has been an absolute superstar from start to finish with remote learning. Every challenge that's been passed your way, you have been an absolute superstar in doing so. A massive well done and congratulations to you, Jay. Just moving this along and then making sure my drum roll is okay. See, I'm learning. So those were the Key Stage 2 stars of the week. Well done to you all. Moving on and moving down in the age groups to year 2, Mrs. Dixon's class. We have another young man. This time for working hard in school and having some pretty cool dance moves on video. What a glorious reason to be star of the week. Working super hard and having super cool dance moves. Reminds me of myself a little bit, I think. We have the year 2 star of the week as a young man who lost a tooth last night. It's Zach Hatch. Well done, Zach, you superstar. And well done for putting your moves on video. We need to be watching this over and over again. I do like a bit of dancing. And it's great to see you all giving those hips a shake since the nice weather came back. Outdoors and of course indoors as well. Well done, Zach, you superstar. Moving on to Miss Naisbitt's year 1 class. And we have a young lady who has produced some super home learning and has been working really hard on her multiplication tasks. So Miss Naisbitt and Tim star of the week is Mia. Well done, Mia Lou. What a superstar you are. A math superstar by all accounts for this week, but also just general super learning all the time. What a fantastic reason. Well done. Moving on, we've got Mrs. Brown, the other Mrs. Brown's year 1-2 class. It's been lovely to have Mrs. Brown back in school this week. We have another young man this time for working independently on all his tasks and his super use of his iPad. So we have a technological genius in our midst here in the year 1-2 class. So, excuse me, Mrs. Brown and Tim have their star of the week as Mikhail Zaman. Well done, Mikhail, you technological superstar. Certainly someone who looks like they're going to grow into one of our next digital ambassadors. Well done, Mikhail. Your brothers were always very, very good with technology when they were in our iPad classes further up school. Great to see you in year one doing the same. Well done, you superstar. So we have 3 classes left. We have Reception B, Reception A, and Nursery, our early years classes. I'm going to start with Reception B, which is Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Cooper's class. And we have another young lady, this time for settling well into her new group and being a whiz when using apps on the iPad. Another technology genius, this time in reception. So our superstar of the week, according to Tim, and Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Cooper is Stefania. Well done, Stefania. Another one who looks like they're going to be growing up to be one of our digital ambassadors. Well done, you technology superstar. Great to see some of our younger children getting so au fait with our technology. And you know what? Not to play silly games and not to watch silly things on YouTube. Our iPads only have, except for the web browser, of course, they only have applications that you can use to push learning. Some of them are games, but they're all learning games and not silly games that sometimes we might spend a bit too much time on. Well done, Stefania. What a fantastic reason for being star of the week. Moving on to Reception A and Mrs. Charlton's class. We have a young lady who has shown a resilient attitude in class and has been a ray of sunshine. What a lovely reason to be star of the week. And I couldn't agree with this more. Who is that ray of sunshine? I hear you ask. Well, after Tim's drum roll, I'm going to tell you. It is Charlotte Watson. Well done, Charlotte. And you are indeed a ray of sunshine. Every morning when I hear you come in, you're always super excited, super loud as well, but that's absolutely fine. And I always have a little smile or even a giggle to myself to think, that's Charlotte coming in for another fantastic day of learning. Well done, Charlotte. Not just that, but also being resilient as well. One of Tim's major traits, being resilient and not letting difficult things or challenges get in the way of you doing really well. That's amazing. Well done, Charlotte. Our final star of the week, our nursery star of the week, for showing encouragement and enjoyment in their home learning. Oh, hold on. I think we've got a mistake. Oh, Miss Bentley's going to be in trouble. We've got the new reason, but we haven't got the new child. Oh, right. I wonder if, I'm going to set my teachers a challenge here. I wonder if within the next 10 minutes, while I do the updates, I wonder if someone can get the star of the week for nursery, because I still have Oracle down, who, of course, was the star of the week last week. But I have a reason that has a boy, because it says for showing encouragement and enjoyment in his home learning. I'm just checking my devices here because things are coming through, and I wonder if someone sent me it already. I don't think so. So yeah, I have Oracle from last week, and I have a boy in the reason, the rationale. So let's see if one of the staff can do that major challenge set. And I do apologize, nursery, if you're watching. I will try and get it before the stream ends. If not, super surprised, because it'll just land in your Marvelous Me inbox. All these assemblies and always done a great job. Always. Never mind. So we'll hold off on that one for now. Let's say a huge, huge congratulations, though, to Charlotte, to Stefania, to Mikhail, to Mia, to Zach, to Jay, Taldo, Corey, Garda, Ebony, and Samaya, our stars of the week from reception to year 6. Well done, boys and girls. Tim, you're going to take a seat there because you are really, really warm. And as I said, hopefully we can get the nursery star of the week to you very soon. If not, it'll be landing in your Marvelous Me, so a little bit more excitement while you wait to find out. Just looking left and right, just in case people send me a message, because I know that the teachers now are going to be going, oh, I need to find out. So we are really, really excited for the next couple of weeks because, of course, and many of you will have been contacted about this so far, but we have invited, because we want to speak to every child that we look after. And we've invited everybody in who isn't attending school to have a one-to-one meeting with us. So I did talk about this very briefly this time last week, and a lot of those phone calls have gone out this week. So a lot of you will have got them. There'll still be some that we need to do. Those that are coming in closer on the calendar will have got their phone calls first, of course. So the idea is that for the 30-odd thousand children in our trust, we want to touch base with every single one of them. So within our school, we want to meet face-to-face where possible with every single child before the summer holidays, so that we can have that peace of mind and we can take in your feelings, your thoughts, and your suggestions for your learning from September. September and next academic year is going to be a huge test in terms of moving learning forward for us. And we need to make sure that we've got absolutely everything right. So the whole point in those one-to-one meetings is that we get your thoughts on how you found lockdown, what it is that you've been doing in terms of learning, what have been the barriers, and what do you think are going to be the main priorities for when you return, of course, in September. So if you've had the phone call and you know your dates, fantastic. We can't wait to see you. I think the reception ones are the first ones on Monday next week. If you haven't had a call about this yet, do not worry. We will be on to you. Please try to do it. We will be having a conversation with you, whether it be face-to-face or over the phone. But if we're face-to-face, it just means we have that extra ability to have what I think is a more worthwhile conversation. So please try to make those appointments. If you have got an appointment and you find out you can't make it, then please let us know, and we'll do everything that we can to rearrange it for a more convenient time. We will have two parts to that one-to-one. So children, you will be speaking with your teachers, and then in the room that is not closed off, just the space next to it, will be a space where Miss Williams will be talking to parents as well. So it'll be a conversation between four, really, but because we want to keep you separate and social distance and be really safe, we'll have the child and the teacher on one side at either end of a long table, and the same with Miss Williams or another member of staff if Miss Williams is busy, and your parent. Okay, so we really utilize that time. And parents, we're going to ask you similar sort of things. What do you think is going to be needed in September? What do you need over the summer? What's been the best things in this lockdown situation and since children started coming back? And what are the things we can improve on and help you out further with? So it's very much a conversation around getting a lot of information for us so that we can do the best we possibly can after the summer holidays. Another part of those Time for Talk sessions, those one-to-ones, is a survey that's coming. So as well as those open questions, that conversation we're going to have, you will also be sent a survey. Now, these are different to the parent surveys that have been sent out. These are just for children to complete. So where possible, if children can complete them on their own, that would be great. There's nothing secret in there. Feel free to have a look at the questions. They're very similar to the things I've just been saying. We'll have a more valid response, though, if children can do as much as possible on their own. Where they're quite little, in the likes of reception in year one, of course, if they need a little bit of adult assistance, by all means, give them that help. Ask the questions verbally, then you could type them and send them to us. So we will be sending that link soon. Year 5 and 6, you might have already started to get your link because yours is an easy one, as you have Google accounts. We're looking for a way to make sure that we don't need Google accounts for the other year groups. So hopefully I'll have something to you really soon so we can get those surveys done. And then the third part, once we've got those surveys completed and once we've done a face-to-face conversation with you all here in school, we're then going to put all of that information and then start all that information together and then start talking right at the top of the trust with our Exco team and our heads of other schools and system leaders, and of course our leaders and teachers and other staff here in school about the best way forward. What can we start putting in place already for our return to full school? Hopefully, still remains to be seen a little bit, but hopefully a return to full school in September, because as I keep saying, we want that to be as well planned and as efficient as possible. We know we've got ground to make up and we're absolutely going to be ready for that challenge, and these things will certainly help us. One of the other things that I want to mention to you, and I am going to text you on the days of your one-to-one meetings as well, we would like to set eyes on all iPads, make sure that you're happy with the way that the iPad is working, but also make sure that all of our iPads are still there and intact, because there's still quite a few that we haven't seen. So please remember to bring your iPad with you. We won't be keeping the iPad. We'll be giving you it straight back to take home. But remember to bring it so that we can set eyes on it and we can see that the iPad's okay and deal with any issues that you've got. And also, a huge majority of children took reading books home on the Friday before we went into lockdown. Those reading books are part of school sets. We'd very much like to put those back together. And of course, you've probably had them long enough now so that you've read them maybe well more than once. So can you also bring in any reading books that school gave you in the same time as we handed your iPads? So you all got a learning pack which had iPads, a reading book, and a load of activities in. All we're asking is that you bring your iPad and your reading book back. And we'll keep the reading book. We'll look at the iPad and just do a check of it, then give you that back until the end of this term. Final thing on this, during the conversation, teachers will ask you about whether you want or need to keep the iPad over the summer holidays. And one of the biggest parts of what our provision is going to look like is an ongoing top quality, high quality access to online resources over the summer, so that you may dip in and out of those resources as much or as little as you want. If you want a complete break over the summer and do nothing, that is absolutely up to you. There'll be many, if not all of our staff that are doing the same. If you want something to do, then we're going to provide that. So 2 parts. One is we're going to ask you if you want to keep your iPad over the summer. If not, then we'll still send you away with it and we'll collect it back the week before we do 2 of these assemblies. That website's going to be called Virtually Nopper, because it is virtually going to be Nopper. It will be a way whereby you can go and have an actual lesson of maths or English or phonics. And sorry, I'm just reading the comment from Dawn. Do year one get? Yes, they absolutely will do, Dawn. This will be offered to everyone. So you'll have the option to keep the iPad, so you can visit Virtually Nopper and you can go through a series of full lessons, from watching videos to doing practice tasks to doing deeper tasks, and then a load more resources that allow you to practice as well. So it's almost like being in the class, but without a teacher. We're going to follow that similar sequence of understanding. So instead of the teacher being at the front and talking about learning and introducing new things, we'll do that by video instead. You'll do that. And then, as I mentioned, there will be practice and deeper tasks afterwards that you can really get to the bottom of in terms of learning. Huge opportunity to get children to catch up on some of the bits that they've missed. And of course, really flexible. So you can touch in and out of those resources as much or as little as you want, and do them in the times that you want as well. That's going to be your choice. If you choose not to take the iPad, that's absolutely fine. We'll bring it back to school and we'll clean it up and we'll put it in storage over the summer so that's ready for September. You might already have technology at home as well, so you don't need an iPad. I know many of you are worried about it breaking and this, that, and the other. So if you can access Virtually Nopper, our new website, with your own tech, and you feel happy you're giving us the iPad back, but you're still going to do the learning, that's absolutely fine as well. Okay, there will be more detail on all of this in your one-to-one meetings. So don't worry if you think you're not fully up to speed on what it is that I'm talking about for the first time right now. Don't worry about it. We'll make sure we talk to you about that. Moving on now. So the government released some information yesterday with Edenred about free school meals. Very simple update, this one. They have sorted everything that they need to for free school meal provision over the summer. So Miss Williams is already onto the case, and your vouchers will be getting ordered within the next couple of weeks so that they arrive in the same fashion over the 6 weeks holidays. So I'm really pleased that that's been the case, and the government not only have U-turned, but have also sorted those the ability to order those out really quickly for us. On Wednesday, changing gears again, it is our Festival of Remarkable Lives. Now, spoke about this last week and indeed got some water thrown over me as part of this. There will be a 90-minute session before lunch and a 90-minute session after lunch, completely remotely, just as we are now, whereby our hosts, Sam and Mark from CBeebies, will be taking us through a jam-packed bill of celebration of all of the amazing things we've done this year. So watch out. There is something that Nopper has been successful in winning again this year. You can see that certificate there, which is wonky and driving me insane because the blue tack has obviously gone really soft. That's because we won the Remarkable Drama competition last year. Well, we've done it again this year. I'm not going to tell you if you don't know. You need to watch to find out. But all of the academies will be receiving their awards for winning competitions throughout the year. We'll have some really cool activities for you to do in the classroom and at home. There'll be some really cool videos to watch, like seeing all of the head teachers getting soaked, some other dances that you can take part in, some bits and pieces, some jokes, etc. that Sam and Mark will be doing. A really, really interesting, fun and exciting day to celebrate what's been a crazy year in, you know, the best way that we know how to. If we can't do it in the theatre like we normally do, well, we're still going to do it. We're going to do it online. So there won't be a video for you on that day. Your teachers will be talking to you about this on Monday and Tuesday, but there won't be a normal video. The expectation is that we'll all get together and we'll make this a huge celebration. We're talking over 100,000 people watching this stream on Wednesday. I'm very excited. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how it all goes. So I can't wait to see you all engaging on Wednesday. The week after that, of course, we've got my maths right here. No, 2 weeks after that is our last week of term, our last week of the academic year, which is crazy, isn't it? We will be delivering your reports late on in that week, probably the last day or two. They are in video format. Remember, the staff are working incredibly hard to get those done. They will be posted in a secret way on YouTube, so nobody will be able to access them except for you, the person who will be sent the link. Okay, I'll just mention the reasons again. We don't want to be sending things out in the post because it's still not that safe to be passing things between home and school. We're going to save on the resources and all the work to print those things out. And having a video that you can continuously go back to is a lot better and more efficient in terms of having a memory there of something that's been very, very different this year, as opposed to having a sheet of paper that you might lose. You know, it might get torn, it might get something spilt on it, or dare I say burn or blow away in the wind. So a few reasons why we've decided to do that. We think it'll be a really nice touch to end what's been a very different year. So they'll be landing in the last week. We'll also be coming away from the normal videos on the last week. We've planned something that we're calling the Nopper Showstopper. So the show will be stopping for that week for the summer holidays, but we want to do it with a bang. So we've got some really exciting, and we aren't going to share these with you just yet. We'll do it the week before the last week. We've got some really exciting projects for each day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that won't be done in the usual daily video format. It might include getting a video, but it won't be the normal series of tasks that you're being asked to do. Very, very exciting. I can't wait to deliver that to you. My final point, some of you may have seen, and particularly on Twitter, because I don't tend to post these things on Facebook, because I know the majority of people who follow us on Facebook are parents, but we are advertising for 4 jobs at the moment. I'm very cautious that it's 4 jobs, and I don't want people to think that people are just running away from this school because something's going wrong. We have Mrs. Spenceley, who we have just said goodbye to with a lovely milkshake, a social distanced milkshake afternoon in the Story Garden, which has been really, really gorgeous. And we could say goodbye to Mrs. Spenceley in a lovely way, having not seen her for a while. So we are looking for someone part-time to cover Mrs. Spenceley in the office. We have said goodbye to Miss Brereton. So we are looking for a teaching assistant from September in Key Stage 1. We're also saying goodbye at the end of this academic year to Mrs. Burns, our lunchtime supervisor, who is leaving us for retirement and going on to not even pastures new, just the next pastures after so many wonderful years of service. We'll be saying goodbye to Mrs. Burns, who is retiring. So there's lots of posts at the moment. It's not for any bad reasons. I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that we are looking to do some changes because we need to. And also we've got a big year ahead of us. I'm going to leave it there. I don't think I've got anything, although I have got some messages, but I'll check them afterwards. So the nursery star of the week, I'm really sorry. that it's happened this way. It's probably my fault. It was last time with Mrs. Brown, if any of you watched that video, and I had to say sorry to Mrs. Brown. So I'll probably have to say sorry to Miss Bentley as well, but that's fine. I'm used to apologizing for the things that I get wrong sometimes. So if you're in nursery, look out within the next 10, 15 minutes. We'll get that sent over to you straight away. Have an absolutely glorious weekend. Look after one another. Always choose kindness, and I will speak to you all again really, really soon. Bye for now.